President Trump comes here to make peace with one of America's fiercest enemies, just as he takes aim at a key U.S. ally tonight. The president comes straight here from a tense meeting with America's staunchest allies. This remarkable photo tonight, so many around the world studying the body language here after the president refused to back down from those stiff tariffs he has now imposed on allies, including Canada. And tonight, the administration's harshest criticism is for Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who said after the G7 that his country won't be pushed around. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz tonight with the extraordinary war of words unfolding elsewhere.
Tonight, President Trump and his top economic advisors attacking one of America's closest allies, accusing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of undermining the peace talks with Kim Jong-un.
Here's the thing. I mean, he really kind of stabbed us in the back.
It comes just hours after the president left the G7 summit, where he frustrated world leaders by refusing to back away from his plans to impose stiff tariffs on aluminum and steel from Canada and other allies. He called it a matter of national security. Trudeau called that insulting and vowed to retaliate by slapping tariffs on American goods.
It is not something we relish doing, but it is something that we absolutely will do, because Canadians, we're polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
Trump was furious in an angry tweet, calling Trudeau very dishonest and weak. And then a stunning decision. The American president refused to sign the traditional statement of solidarity with the G7 allies, a statement his own team helped draft. Today, the message from the White House: blame Canada.
There's a special place in hell for any foreign leader that engages in bad faith diplomacy with President Donald J. Trump and then tries to stab him in the back on the way out the door.
The president's top economic advisor calls Trudeau's work a betrayal, a sophomoric political stunt, and a slap in the face.
POTUS is not going to let a Canadian prime minister push him around. He is not going to permit any show of weakness on the trip to negotiate with North Korea. Kim must not see American weakness.
That wasn't all.
He ought to come out and apologize in the name of the Western allies. Okay, he ought to come out today and wish President Trump well in the negotiations.
So now, as he heads into talks with one of America's greatest enemies, President Trump's relations with America's closest friends plunging to a new low. From French President Emmanuel Macron today, a warning: international cooperation cannot depend on fits of anger.
This was really something to witness today. Martha Raddatz with us here in Singapore as well. And Martha, to think that the president is going to be sitting down in the coming hours with Kim Jong-un, and yet this war of words with some of our closest U.S. allies. Larry Kudlow seemed to indicate that this harsh attack is in part because the summit is happening right after the G7.
It's inexplicable. What Trudeau was doing was basically defending his country, which you've heard Donald Trump do over and over and over again during the years. He's the one that started this with the tariffs, and it was also Donald Trump who turned to name-calling. What the connection with this summit is unclear.
It seems the White House knows the world is watching everything right now. Martha Raddatz with us here in Singapore. Martha, thank you. And we hope you'll stay with ABC News for full coverage of this historic face-to-face summit. I'll have more from Singapore later in the broadcast. And, of course, the latest on Good Morning America first thing in the morning, and we'll be live right here tomorrow night. I'll be joining George, Martha, John, the entire team when President Trump and Kim Jong-un meet for the first time. We'll be on live.